Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video about how to change the brake shoes on an Ifor Williams CT177. They're standard knot brakes, so will be applicable to a whole range of trailers, especially the Ifor Williams. I've done this one already, and the reason I'm changing it is because the cable had become frayed. It's worn through the old one and seized up the wire, and what that's done is caused the brake to stick on. And then that's worn out the shoe completely on this rear drum. So the cables on all of them is not great. I'm not sure what the shoes are going to be like on this one. It wasn't stuck on, luckily. So hopefully it will just be take the shoes off, replace the cable. If not, we do have new shoes to put on. So make a start, just take the wheel off. Okay, so now the wheel's off, I'm going to pop this centre hubcap off. There's a little indent, or sometimes two indents, just to let you get the screwdriver in, work it open a little bit. And then this is going to be a 46mm nut. There's two tabs bent in on it. So first thing to do, just knock these out. That's that nut off. I'll give it a pull. Sometimes necessary, there's a adjuster on the back to loosen that off. In this case, you can see it's coming pretty easy. Like I said, there must be a lip on the drum maybe. No, the drum feels fine, no lip on it. But that'll go for new bearings. And I've got another video out showing you how to do the bearings, so make sure you check that out if you need to know how to do that. And then looking at these drums, there's quite a bit of life left on these, so I think it's just going to be a cable change today from what I can see so far. Okay, so before you get started with taking this apart, what I would say is to take a photo of how it is like now, because no matter how many you've done, it can always be bit difficult to remember how it goes back together. You can see the springs here, they hook in from behind, and there's actually two different length springs there as well. I'll try and get in closer so you can see that. But first thing I usually do is back off on this adjuster on the back here. So you've got this, and then we've got two sliders inside here as well. Get the bolt out the back and put this safe for now. So next up, sometimes I get these just by my hand. That's that over there just by my fingers. And then what we need to do is try and lever this up. Either do the top or the bottom first, doesn't really matter. Usually get a pry bar and lever off the top here. So that's that. Off is a bit stuck on this side. There we are. So I'm going to keep it like that just for reference to make sure it goes back correctly. And even if I was putting in new ones, I would keep this just for reference, just so I know the different spring lengths. This here on the bottom's got a rotation direction, and that's for it to release when you're reversing, so you need to make sure that's going back in the correct way. And then yeah, we've got this here. take that off, put it to the side. I'll clean that up, ready to go back on in a bit. Now just to get the cable out and the support, and this sometimes, yeah, usually just pulls out like that. On the end of the cable we've got this here, so you just need to push it forward and that'll pop out. I say this is rusted in, so I might have to get that in a vise to be able to release that off, but I'll need that for the new cable. And then we have this as well, and don't know if you can pick it up here, but there's a dimple in there, and it sticks out on this side, and that's because it can only go in correctly one way. So you need to feel on the back here. You can feel that there's a lump at the bottom, so it's going to go with the side with the recess at the bottom when we refit the new one. But for now, what I'm going to do is just clean everything up, get a wire brush into here. I forgot to mention these are stuck. Push these out. They're your sliders. And then as I pull this cable out, I can show you a bit better where it's been rubbing. And even though this one's not seized, it is not in good condition. Okay, I just realised as well, I did mention on the video, but the front of these cables where it joins on was completely corroded. So I actually had to get some bolt cutters and cut the cable, and then I could hammer a socket on from one side to grab the cable and then try and undo the other side. That's worked, but obviously it shouldn't be left to get that bad. That was my bad. But you may be in the same situation, so if you're putting new cables on, I think it's just quicker to cut them off, and then you can hammer a socket on from the side to try and pinch from the other. Okay, so now we've got everything nice and cleaned up. Next thing to do is going to be get this cable in. I'm going to feed it over the leaf spring. Usually it sits on top of the axle, but I'm just going to leave it on the floor for now because I want to top coat the axle, and then also I'm going to put a secondary protection on it to stop it rubbing on the leaf spring, the axle, and there's a guide for it forward. But this plate in the back, that's going to sit inside there. Like I said, the recess has to be the right way around on this, and I'm going to pack this full of grease just to stop it sticking, and it'll act as some sort of waterproofing. Okay, so I got both halves with grease. Feed this back. Yeah, once it's in the right position, it goes quite easy. And then if you remember this piece that was stuck in, I've packed that full of grease as well. I'll pull this cable through as much as I can. And there we are, that's inside there. Any excess grease, I'll just push it in the back here. And I'll leave that. We'll get this side fitted now. So with this, don't want any grease on the threads because it'll affect the permabond. get that tightened up just a few turns, and then these sliders are going to pack them full of grease, and they're going to sit in. So you've got the big recess that's going to go on the back in there, and your drum's going to sit on this groove here. I'll drop that one down the top. And this one, if I've got enough grease on it, then the grease should hold it in. There we are. And then just the excess, just to get off my fingers, I'll just put it on the stub axle. Okay, so the next piece, I've just pushed this cable in a little bit, give me a bit more room, and then I'm going to get this in. So that's in there, and I'm going to tip it forward and literally pull this up. That'll snap in there. Make sure my springs are still in, as you can see they are, and yeah, ready to fit this next piece now then. Okay, so the next piece is going to be this one. Again, just put a little bit of grease on the hooks here, and what we're going to do is hook this in on the top there, into there. And I've pulled the cable through a little bit, just push it back ever so slightly. And what you're going to need now is 2 pry bars to try and open this up. So this one's going to pull it up. This one's going to go it down. There we are, so that's all the springs under a bit of tension. The only one I've got left is this middle spring. So again, just by hand, feed it through and just try and twist it a little bit. I may just get a set of pliers just to compress and twist this a little bit more. There we are, I think that's quite well retained there now. You can see as that cable's going to be pulled, it's going to open up the drum there. Finally, the torque on this, 350 Newton meters.
get it on.
Okay, so that's the nut torqued up. If you remember, I've still got the other end of the cable to attach first. I'll do that, adjust the brakes, and then I'll fold these tabs in last that fit the wheel. All the adjustments are going to be done on the back, but I'll do that in a separate video just to try and keep them a bit shorter and more relevant for people. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, if you need to know how to change the bearings, I've got a separate video for that. And if it helped you out, then make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.